These last ones are newer. So, I'm going to read this one because the person that's dedicated it to is here, my friend Paul, my publisher and friend. It's called The Feint. This is an immaterial poem about a ghost, name of Dennis. I appear less important to those few among you who knew me when I was composed more realistically. Once my empty sockets seemed like evil eyes to you, and you had no idea their trick wasn't great art. Now I barely exist, but train your sights on this nevertheless. It's past your bedtime. I painted myself into a corner. A ghost has been sketched here haphazardly. I'm still myself, but inspire no illusions, no matter how I'm executed. To believe in a ghost was small potatoes next to the fear in your eyes. I scared you. All I was is this marked up white sheet, so I ask you again. Read into my black holes. Lead singer. This is the last show we're ever going to play. We're done. We're gone. You guys just didn't believe in us enough. You didn't give enough of a shit. Thanks for nothing. It's your loss. This is our last song for all eternity. I think you know it. These are 8 short poems. They're written for, they're kind of an homage to this American poet named Jerome Sala, who's not home here, but he's really great. And unfortunately, they have like really a lot of pop culture references in them. And I think a lot of the pop culture references probably aren't going to make it over here. And so I could have not read them, but I'm such a rebel that I decided to go ahead and do it anyway. So, but if some of these references don't make sense, just go, whatever, don't worry about it. That's my advice. This one's called True or False, and I think you're supposed to decide whether it's what I'm reading is true or false. On the day Martin Luther King was assassinated, I was in my bedroom smoking pot and listening to Cream's Disraeli Gears, when our housekeeper threw open the door and yelled, "They killed that nigger." My friend Sean had sex with David Bowie, so my friend Michelle had sex with Alice Cooper. So my friend Dwayne had a three-way with Vidal Sassoon and some fashion model. So my friend Mary had sex with the guy who used to play Timmy on Lassie. So I had sex with Beau Bridges. Oh, you know Bridges. If you want to see me cry, make me watch the movie Ordinary People, and wait until the scene where Timothy Hutton says, "I love you, Dad." Then Donald Sutherland starts to cry and says, "I love you too, son." I still wonder if the teenage street hustler I picked up 21 years ago in Times Square, who told me he'd had sex with every member of U2 and how the drummer was the cutest but had a fat ass, really did. I have the world's largest collection of Todd Rundgren vinyl and rarities, including the original pressing of Runt with 2 extra tracks that were deleted before the album was officially released in mint condition if anyone wants to buy it. Okay, this one's called Yuck. My boo-boo made his pee-pee gross. I mean, more gross. There's a smiley face there. I don't know how to do that smile. Best of the porn stars. The world. You're fascinating. Who are you? You. I'm a twink bottom. Brain. He has a great ass. Mouth. You have a great ass. AIDS. I'm sorry, can you spell it? No. It's called F+. I intend to write my book report on Rod Stewart, Forever Young, an unauthorized biography by John Morthland. I know it wasn't on your reading list, but hear me out. Not only will I kick that book's pathetic lying ass back to the penthouse where its limey sellout author got some huge advance to write it, I will prove Rod Stewart sucks. I'll prove he sucked back when reviewers loved his hippie shit. I'll prove his disco phase sucked so fucking hard. I'll prove he sucks as Frank Sinatra Jr. He sucks as a rock music legend. He sucked from the minute he was born. I have the proof. Think big, bitch. E.H. Not to brag, but if one more muffled voice jokes, your ass could teach a poetry workshop, or I don't know what's cooking in that oven, but can I invite myself for dinner, or don't mind me, I'm just looking for the cure for colon cancer, or I'm no Freud, but I can tell you why the guy who cleaned the bathrooms at your kindergarten paid you $20 not to flush, or if I suffocate, tell my mom I loved her, or just call me Jules Verne, or you should list your anal membranes on the stock market, or I never thought I'd say this, but I envy Gene Simmons, or fuck man, what did you eat for dinner? God? Or next time I'm in a bar, I'm going to order your douche. I'm going to scream. 3 posters. Seek someone to die in my arms. Could it be you? You go to sleep, chemical induced. I want sex first. I'm looking at a boy. He's under 13 and blonde, thin, cute face, a plus. If you find him, I'd like seconds. Glad to pay, if asked. I share your type, but mine's dead. I hit one of them with my truck in 1993. He passed in my shed. Didn't plan to screw him afterwards. Never had a thing for them till him. Pics to trade. This is called Captions from the Cannibals photo album. It looked like a camera. It took photographs, but it wasn't a camera. 1994. It observes the table on which it will be served. 1995. I don't know what universe it thought it was God in. 1998. You are what you eat. 1999. I suddenly realized it was hot after it was cold. 2003. It was told to draw a picture of its future. Not bad. 2004. 39-year-old black stud wants to seed a neg ass. I'm a recent ex-con straight Bernie Mac type who got paused sharing needles in prison. I like the idea of killing guys this way, plus it don't violate my parole. Listen, Bernie, this death sentence rhetoric is from 20 years ago. You can bear back for years before anything really bad happens. Take your depressing shit elsewhere. I'm a neg bottom and Ray Romano look-alike hoping to be bred by hung paws tops. Ray, Bernie here. I like your attitude. Can I kill you? I'll read the one more. I think. Yeah. It's called Friendship. Like Craig Lee, journalist, hopelessly in love with a 14-year-old bassist of Red Cross, but prevented by law from confessing his feelings or getting said rock star drunk enough. Excuse me. Let me start over. Like Craig Lee, journalist, hopelessly in love with a 14-year-old bassist of Red Cross, but prevented by law from confessing his feelings or getting said rock star drunk enough to grope or blow him unbeknownst. So Craig raves about Red Cross in the Los Angeles Times and gets to be the kid's best friend and watch him skinny dip one night in his parents' backyard pool, and that's enough. Or Steve Oppenheim, med student, who bought some unrequited sex with a 14-year-old Mexican who'd snuck into the States from Tijuana. Jorge looks staggering in clothes, but just poignantly poor and addicted to heroin without them. though Steve is too consumed these days with getting him off dope to remember how that felt. Steve can't begin to taste or smell what made their life together worth it, so he works the lack of love into his usual feelings and calls it friendship. Thank you.